Hello. So I'm going to run through how to create a Teams meeting through PowerApps and the easiest way to do this. I've seen a lot of stuff online, not actually very easy, but this is the best way to do it. If you click on New Screen in the top left and just click on Meeting, and it will create the new meeting screen. It will look something like this. I've edited it slightly to adjust with my menu bar on the left, for example. But in essence, it will look exactly the same. You then need to go to Power Automate, and I've just created my Send Teams meeting. You want it to be on a PowerApps initiation. And then I've just created a bunch of variables. The only reason I've created the variables is to make it easier when you're adding it into the boxes here. And that's just simply so it looks nicer when you're doing it down here. You don't have to do this. You can just have it so that all of these become dynamic content where you ask in PowerApps. It's up to you. So I've set a bunch of variables, I've named them, and then I've put it as a ask in PowerApps for the value. They're all strings. So it's as simple as that, really. And then you want to create a Teams meeting, which is a preview, and add in, as I said, the asking PowerApps or the string variables as you go down. I accidentally created one for the time zone, so you don't actually need a time zone one because you can just pop in the time zone there. So do that, click save, and then go back to here, and you can keep what's there originally. I would suggest chucking in an icon, for example, and doing that. It's a bit invisible. And then going to Action, Power Automate, click Send Teams Meeting, and all that does is add the automate function to here. And as you can see, I had one previously during a test. I set up a new one because it got a bit messy. And so it's _1. And that just gives you the initial bit of code that you need. And that is just that bit of code there. So what I would suggest is replacing most of the code that's in the original send icon when you add the new screen. So all you need is this here, and you can just pop in the boxes as you need it. Now, all of the requirements come through as you put them in the variables here, so in the same order. So I know that calendar is first, subject is second, message is third. So I just go through and I think, right, so my calendar is calendar. That's something static that I want to keep static. It just goes to the calendar, it doesn't go to any other calendars you may have set up. My subject, my message, it's all very simple from here on, really. Now, you may have issues with the UTC. As you can just see now, it's all gone red. For some reason, it comes up with an error, but it actually works. It's a really odd issue. You definitely need to put it in, though, as you can see, it's just gone now. You definitely need to put it in as UTC. Otherwise, you get a string variable of a time date in whatever time zone you're in. Power Automate doesn't like that, so you have to make sure you put whatever date and however you're putting it in, wrap it in a text with a UTC. That just converts it to the date format that it needs. And then I removed a couple of things. I don't need a location, for example. I don't need it to go through rooms and check locations. Because this is a Teams meeting, it's going to be an online meeting. So location's pretty much null and void in this circumstance. And it's really easy to use. I'm just going to put my name in here. And best. And I'm going to schedule it in for today at 4 o'clock and click send. And it's done. And now when I open my Teams, which you might be able to see, it's in my calendar already. It takes no more than a couple of seconds. You can add multiple people on. I've got the limit to what Microsoft set it to, which is 15. You can change that if you want to. Yeah, and that's everything. If you have any questions, just give me a shout. I will post this code in the comment section below so that you can just almost copy and paste it. If you use the default screen for meetings, then most of this will transfer over without having to change much. The obsolete there, that is where I set the time zone up, and I don't need the time zone. It doesn't actually do anything. I've just put obsolete so that I know it's not needed anymore. Yeah, any questions, just give me a shout.